It feels like the first time. It feels like the very first time.
It feels like the first time. It feels like the very first time.
Hey, Rary. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby. How you doing?
We're recording the whole podcast just for Bobby. This is for you, Bobby.
I'm so glad Bobby could make it.
If your name's not Bobby, you better turn this goddamn thing off right now.
This is only for Bobbies.
I'm working for Bobby today.
We're on the honor system.
Hey, guys. Welcome to Season 2 of The Leftovers. I feel like we just got started. And we're already in the middle season. It's almost over.
Right. That's what happens
Yeah.
when you do 2 a week on a show that has 10 episodes in a season.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining.
Time flies.
I feel the opposite. I feel like, oh, I want to get to season 3 right now.
Yeah.
I did have a feeling of like, oh, we're almost done.
Yeah.
Shit.
It was
When,
a hopeful one for me.
when we started season 2, I thought, man, this is almost over.
Did you hear that?
I was just going to say,
Where's
I wish
that
you
sound
played that
coming
after
from?
the opening.
Where's it coming from?
Where's that
So
sound?
here's the thing. My first house in LA was in Sherman Oaks, and we had like a it was a real kind of open air, indoor outdoor kind of setup.
Yeah.
Wow, where is
And-
that? I want to live there.
Oh, well, I lived with like 4 dudes. So
Oh.
Whoa!
across all of us.
Wow,
Hey.
It was,
braggart.
it's quite a
Hello.
party.
Oh, shit. We got a player here.
Can we do an award at the end of season 3 for like best placed?
Yeah.
Sound clips.
Well, I
Dude,
I
that
can't
may-
win.
that-
Best
that's
place
gonna
sound
win.
clips? That's going to be on the fans. Bobby, you got to do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bobby, please.
come on, Bobby.
Bobby, you
so
gotta
far,
pull the
that's
best.
Up there.
Listen,
That
you
is an
scratch.
up there choice.
We
But
scratch
this is
Bobby.
only Steve can win.
I'm talking to
only
Bobby.
Steve can win.
I know that's what
No,
I was
it's not.
saying.
It's not. I mean, you're the one pushing them, but it's really a congratulations of the timing of a comment
Well,
lining
it's
up
the
with a
timing
perfect...
is me though. So wait, you're saying the person
So
who?
congratulations, Steve.
So thank you. So
You
we
guys are missing my pint.
hold on. Let's make it like this then. The person who.
it's not
sets
about-
off the person who sets off
I'm gonna say
the
no.
perfect oh yeah we got a player here
No,
gets a prize.
it's not a competition between us 3. It's a celebration of what a perfect, great moment it was that something aligned with something we said. It's like, you know, when things happen and they're just so perfect. It's a moment to award the perfection
Yeah,
of
listen,
that
I'm
moment.
not Batman. I want to get all the
Oh,
recognition,
God.
right?
Bobby, listen, we set out to make this one an hour. You should know just
Oh,
right
yeah,
up front.
Bobby, we're going quick.
Come on, Bobby. We're
Bobby.
trying. Listen, we're thinking about
We're
you.
off to a strong start.
We're
Anyway,
thinking
the
about
point was,
your time.
Yeah,
we would
finish
get
your story. Finish your
cicadas.
story.
We're thinking about Bobby's time.
Oh my God. Go, Brett,
We would
please.
get cicadas would hide in the bricks of our fireplace in that house.
John
And
Cicadas.
I didn't realize that's where they were, but they sounded like they were coming from everywhere.
Wow, Bob. How'd you
Like the
find
sound
out?
would echo. What's that?
How'd you find out that's where they were?
In sort of a like chaotic panic, similar to what he did. And we finally found it, and we got ushered it outside, and there was peace for like a week or 2, and then
Oh.
another one got in.
Oh, no.
And then I
no,
moved out.
Bobby.
I found that whole storyline going on to be quite relatable, but we'll get to it. Let's start off by saying episode 1 of season 2 is called Axis Mundi.
Wait,
AXIS MUNDI.
Is that a Christian thing, or am I on even?
I don't know.
guessing
We'll
games
find
with y'all?
out. We're gonna get into it. I'm sure we'll find out. But
How much you want to bet that relates to some Bible shit?
I'm sure it does.
I'm gonna bet it.
But the episode
How much you
was.
putting down? We got a player.
We got a player here.
It doesn't say who directed the goddamn episode. Lost.
Mimi Leader.
It was
directed both
Mimi
of these
Leader. You're
episodes.
right. You're
Mimi
right.
Siku.
Mimi Undies.
You guys want to talk about how this fucking episode started?
Yes, let's
Or-
talk about it, Brett. Go
Oh,
ahead.
Fantastic.
I'm still not certain about the music cue in the opening credits. I thought something was wrong.
Wait, you're talking about the new theme song?
Yeah.
What do you mean you thought something was wrong?
Like I put it on and I thought I put the wrong thing on, so I backed out. And then I thought there was ads on my HBO Max.
You know, to be fair, HBO has been doing some wanky stuff this week because everybody's finally getting. What is the new one? The new HBO.
HBO Max.
HBO
thing.
Max. Yeah.
Everyone is finally converting, and we had a lot of glitchy issues.
We had some glitch shoes. Glitch shoes.
Ooh.
But we
They're
but
tiny little
I
shoes
love-
that elves make.
I love the theme song for this season. I think it's
Yeah.
It's
wonderful.
just it felt very Weeds.
Oh, really?
interesting.
I
never-
Yeah, I feel that.
I never
In the later
watched
seasons
Weeds.
of Weeds, they do the tiny boxes as
Yeah.
the theme song, and they did different versions of it
Yeah.
in later seasons.
Oh, that's neat.
And that reminded me of that. But beyond the title sequence, what happened there? Why did we get a scene from A Quest for Fire?
So I think we were obviously seeing
Miracle before it was Miracle.
Yeah,
I
or
think
Jardin.
Jardin means garden in French, and I think it's meant to be the garden of what's the phrase?
Alana thinks it's the Garden of Eden.
The Garden of Eden, right. Or that's what they're trying to throw to at least.
Wow.
It's jardin, but whatever. I don't pronounce French well either.
I can't wait to dig
Jardin?
into some of the things that are being said here in the
In the
leftovers
read-over?
wiki, the leftoverspedia, where we're getting most of our trivia information and clarifications,
there
if you
spoilers?
will. No,
no.
not based on the episode that you're currently reading about. But I remember seeing this episode intro opening back when it aired and
Mhm.
thinking like, oh man, this show's going to be a good time. This show's really going to take us to a bunch of crazy places,
Yeah.
and I cannot wait to see what's next.
I remember thinking the same thing. This is the opening that I associate with the show. When we watched season 1, I was like, where's that opening? And Steve had to kindly remind me that that's only in season 2.
Oh, yeah, because she wanted to hear the song.
And see
Let
the
the mystery be.
yeah, and see the Gone Boys.
And then you don't know if it changes in 3 because
I
you didn't
don't.
watch 3.
I didn't know.
And apparently she didn't finish 2.
And these
or
are the
maybe
facts
she
as we
did.
know them.
We're in a really weird
I
place.
don't
with
remember if I
where-
finished 2. I may
Yeah.
have finished it. I may not have. If I got deep into the season though, so
I don't know.
If I didn't finish, I was just at the tail end.
I just remember thinking like, okay, so we're obviously seeing like ancient whatever this place is, because even by the time we got to
Ancient PP.
the reveal that the series or this season is set in this new location, which we were seeing like millions of years ago or however long ago that was,
Ja.
maybe hundreds of thousands, I don't know.
Dang.
Seemed
don't
like
do math.
looked like early man,
Caveman style.
cavemen and women.
I will say I half expected when the person came up to her after she got bit by the rattlesnake to be just in modern clothes. And this to be like an M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
Okay, what if
Twist.
they went Walking Dead with the show, and then what we see is like another part of the world where the departure affected, like, maybe a third world country or something, and how the departure affected people in a third world country. And
Hey,
then,
don't put down a third world country. I don't know that they'd be in that position.
well, no, I'm just saying in a third world
in
country.
a position where that may have happened.
I'm just
okay.
saying, like, in comparison to the first season where it was like obviously privileged Americans or whatever.
Sure. Okay.
But like, what if it was like suddenly this is how other cultures were affected by it,
Ooh, I'd love that.
and it was just like, yeah, like we just saw like a new kind of like we had a
Born
whole
baby.
season with like a whole different cast of like people. Like that would, I don't know. There was all these opportunities for them to do really strange shit, but again, like in typical Lindelof fashion, there's no way to predict where it goes.
I also forgot that Angela, what is her name again?
Regina King,
Angela from the other show.
more like Regina
I got
Queen.
good.
I forgot she was in this.
I got a
totally
lot of
forgot.
Watchmen vibes from this episode.
Oh, it was so good. She
Between
was
her husband and
cracking
the
eggs.
firefighters and all of that.
And her cracking an
definitely
egg, like
seemed-
a lot.
She was cracking eggs like
She
that
was
one
cracking
scene.
an
Can we have
egg.
a compilation of Angela cracking eggs? I'm just going to continue with Angela as her name.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
So there's a lot of parallels between this episode and the movie from, I believe, 1981, Porky's. There's a lot of visual.
What the fuck?
Oh,
There's
alright.
a lot of imagery in this
Alright.
episode that immediately made me think of Porky's. There's
Like the
people
running
naked running through the
nudes.
woods.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like dark wood scenes, and there's like an egg prank right at the beginning of Porky's. Listen, it immediately made me think of Porky's. No one should go rewatch Porky's. It does not age well, but I couldn't get it out of my mind for some reason, so I felt like this was the forum for me to bring it up
Okay,
in
well,
case
I'm-
anyone else got that same.
Wow,
vibe.
Brett.
Listen, Brett, you are perfectly welcome to present this theory. This is definitely the forum for it, and I
I'm just
appreciate.
telling you,
Yeah,
if you watch Porky's and this episode back to back, you're gonna be like, I could see it.
yeah.
And I'm just wondering if Porky's inspired Lindelof, and if anyone's ever asked him. That's all I want to know.
Wow.
Interesting. Well, let's get him on the horn.
Yeah, can we just call Bobby?
Yeah,
Can you call
Bobby.
Lindelof?
Bobby, get Lindelof on the dang horn, will ya?
Are we still on good terms with James ABC?
I hope so. We haven't heard from him
Okay.
in quite a long time, though.
I wonder if he could reach out on our behalf.
We'll see what we can do. If you're listening, James, we'd love to hear from you, even though this is an HBO series. So let's read a little bit about what the wiki thing is saying, which is interesting. How we're getting some more recurring themes in this season of The Leftovers with animals. In the first.
Wait, before
season.
we get into the wiki, all I was going to say about this episode is we have too many mysteries already.
Yes.
I don't have anywhere else to put all these mysteries.
Now that was the reason when I stopped the show. The reason was I felt exactly what you just expressed.
We're
and I
gonna
said,
need a bigger
you know what?
box to hold all these mysteries.
Yeah,
You know what? That's too many mysteries
Listen,
and not enough answers.
the pantry is full and overflowing. All right,
And
I
we're,
mean,
we're
well,
just
we
gonna
gotta
become
finish.
hoarders.
We gotta finish some of these leftovers and clear some room in the fridge.
All right. Well, let me ask you this then, if you guys feel
I'm
that
out.
way. What were some mysteries left unsolved for you that you feel were important for the story
Fountains of Wayne.
that didn't get?
What's going on with Tom
solved?
and his mommy?
You mean Holy
Oh, I
Wayne?
did think the baby in the beginning would end up somehow becoming Holy Wayne. Like
Oh,
ancestrally.
that's cool. Holy Wayne was.
Wait. The baby. Oh, ancestrally. Oh,
You think Holy Wayne was an unresolved mystery?
yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think so at all. I think it ended with
I think
them.
you only feel this way because you've seen it twice.
Well,
I still don't know why Kevin and his son are not on speaking terms.
I don't know why Kevin Bacon stopped dancing.
who says
I
he
don't
did?
know why Kevin Bacon stopped making Tremors movies.
Yeah.
They're still making them.
Indeed. Why's it gotta
He
be
could
that
easily pop
fucking
in.
Where's
Michael
the bacon?
Gross motherfucker? Why can't it be Kevin Bacon?
I mean,
Fuck
don't
the
you
beef,
dare,
where's the
'cause He's
bacon?
keeping that fucking thing alive.
I know he is, but he's got to branch out.
There's a new Tremors movie coming next year. So
All right.
Well,
Well,
there's
back
only
to
really one man
leftovers.
to thank there.
mark your calendars, folks. They're like, if Bill and Ted can do it,
Yep.
Um,
that's how the meeting went.
all right.
Pretty much.
The woman sees a hawk multiple times
Yeah, the hawk is telling her shit.
right before the earthquake / rock slide that kills her tribe and destroys her cave. As she holds her newborn, inspiring her to steal eggs from the hawk's nest.
That was a hawk's nest?
And
I
as
would
sh-
not go there.
As she lays dying holding her baby, as she robs the hawk's nest, a snake attacks the woman's baby and bites the woman, ultimately killing her. John repeatedly searches for a cricket in the Murphy house. Where's that cricket sound, Steve? Thanks, Bobby.
Love you, Bobby.
Love ya, Bobby. In the episode's final scene, the cricket chirps again following Evie's seeming departure. Erica retrieves a bird buried in a box during her run.
A BBB.
And Jerry sacrifices a
Oh,
goat
yeah.
in the diner.
Oh, who's Jerry? That guy's got a name?
I mean, I'm sure it said it in the credits or something.
Goat Slicey.
Jerry.
That was some pretty intense fucking
The goat slice?
shit in the diner. It's just like he laid out that plastic and then cut that goat's throat like 3 feet too far off the fucking.
I think it was
Tar-
less about
Yeah,
the blood
I agree.
and more
It
about
bothered
him
me.
pulling the corpse out of the restaurant with it.
Nah, I think it was like.
I mean,
a little
I
bit
feel
to
like a
contain.
more efficient use could have served both purposes.
Here I am.
I want that clip.
Yeah,
Here I
someone use that in the emails, the new emails, will you? Will you?
All right, continue.
Michael reads from 1 Thessalonians
Wait, whoa.
in the church.
Which one's Michael? That's the son.
I guess he's the son, yeah.
Ugh.
Banners
No,
in the
what?
So
Love
we're
him.
talking about more Bible, so other references in the
That's
show, recurring
what's
themes.
his name?
That's the
Isn't
new
that Nora's
family.
brother?
No,
No,
that's Matt.
That's Matt.
Michael
Matt.
reads a.
Yeah, close enough.
thing.
Bobby, shut up. It's close enough.
Both of the references on the banners, the Bible references or whatever,
Yep.
seem to be referencing water,
Werther.
and the episode ends with
There was a lot
Thud.
of water in the people cutouts in the intro.
Yeah.
To a point, I thought it was only water, but then there was some sky and shit, and space,
And some dumb rocks.
and it broke my whole fucking theory.
somebody says here, or at least it says in references, that the football photo is over producer Peter Berg and Sarah Aubrey's credit, references their work on Friday Night Lights.
What? Is that in the credits? A football
Awesome.
photo? Or
Yeah.
when their
Yeah.
names come up? I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
You think there's not football in Miracle, Texas? Come on.
Let's see. The concept of Miracle originated in the first season when the writers planned to have Tom and Christine visit a town where no one had departed during their road trip. However, Tom and Christine's storyline became less of a focus as the season progressed.
That's
and the
why it got
story was
boring.
dropped.
That's why it got boring.
Mm.
Damon Lindelof and Tom Perrotta had not discussed any ideas about season 2 when they accepted HBO's pickup for a second season. As Lindelof's
Is the
experience,
whole first season just the first book?
Yeah.
Okay.
As Lindelof's experience on Lost made him insistent on focusing only on the season at hand during production of season 1. When they began discussing the second season, they realized that Nora's letter about her reasons for leaving town in the first season finale still applied despite finding the baby, so they decided to move the characters to a new locale and then connected to the idea of a town where no one departed.
Finding the baby sounds like an American phrase, like
A
a slang
trope?
phrase. Oh yeah, I was finding the baby.
Do you guys remember in Batman Returns do you remember that finding the baby scene in Batman Returns?
Exactly.
Another shift in season 2 is the decision, influenced by the positive reception of Matt and Nora POV episodes in season 1, to limit number of POV characters in any given episode, providing greater focus in the storytelling.
All right.
Okay. The title is Latin for world axis. It refers to a concept of a geographical point where heaven and earth meet.
Oh, Garden of Eden.
This is presumably how many people in the show's world view Jarden. I see.
I did think it was interesting. I know it's the next episode, but when the guys from MIT came and
I
we're talking
loved
about
that.
the
theory they
the
had.
happening might be related to proximity of places, but the other thing is him saying it might happen again and her freaking out about that. I thought that was interesting because all of the people talking about, well, it isn't the rapture because not enough people were taken. I like the idea that there was just some misunderstanding in the text of the Bible, and like the rapture happens in like segments over time.
Oh shit.
Whoa, shit.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
yeah, and like all of the elements of the apocalypse will start to like fill in like chapters as people are taken, because even in the Bible, after the rapture happens, you can still get saved. You can still,
Right.
pledge your
Oh.
life or your soul to Jesus, and then you will be saved and you can escape the apocalypse.
Which is what I'm
Um,
planning on, because
right.
I'd like to try out
Right.
the apocalypse for a few days, if you know what I mean.
It just doesn't seem fair that if you die like the week before, hell. you
Yeah,
know?
I want to see all the cool shit. I want
Right.
to see Jesus with
So-
a sword.
I want a CG.
I want to CGI.
But it is interesting, and I love that Lindelof loves those like sci-fi kind of concepts of magnetism and energy and things like that. And it seems like the idea that these MIT students are spending like so much money on this house so that they could do research there, and they were given a grant to do research there, which means there's some interest in the real world outside of these storylines and these characters in continually putting money into studying the departure, which is super cool and
Yeah.
almost gave me like Dharma Initiative vibes. Not to be too specific about what I'm talking about, but I remember watching it and then saying, "Oh my god, what if they tie Dharma in and they're like researching the anomaly and it has some connection to another
Wasn't there
series?"
conversations at this point about whether or not Leftovers would tie into Lost?
A lot
And
of
Lindelof
people-
had to come out and say that it wouldn't.
Yeah, because a lot of people had really hoped and were really like that. The theory was gaining steam at the time the show was going on, and a lot of people were like, "Ooh, what if? What if?" And then he just came out and was like, "Nah, it's not gonna happen."
Nah, babes.
Even though there is a Dharma Initiative thing in Cloverfield, which is a
Oh.
completely different property.
Yeah,
Damon. Yeah, but anyway, but yeah, the and then the episode title World Axis, referring to the concept of a geographical point where heaven and earth meet, is interesting when you think about the geographical concepts. And I don't even think it was this episode where they went into that. It's the next one, because the next one's called A Matter of Geography, and that's where you learn why the Garveys left
I love
Mapleton.
I love all those concepts as well. The different
Mhm.
energy lines on the earth
Yeah.
stuff.
It's really cool. I love it because it is really unknown stuff that's like kind of potentially real. And
Wait, does that tie into the like crack in the road?
yeah, well, that's kind of the idea that, because I mean, we did see a big earthquake that killed this woman's tribe in the beginning of the episode. And so conceivably that part of the world gets like earthquakes probably. And it seems like
Of course, it's Texas. They get
um,
earthies, yeah.
right, but it seems like that is sort of like an epicenter, Jordan. It seems like it is.
Oh,
I
that's not
wouldn't
how I saw it.
say-
I saw that.
I don't
that-
feel like Texas is like associated with earthquakes.
Sure. I just mean like some places, like Hawaii doesn't have earthquakes. I don't know how that works some places
well, I'm
and
just
not
saying
others.
what I'm
but-
saying. I'm not saying that they set it there because it's such a realistically geographical place where there are a bunch of earthquakes
No,
happening.
I'm not saying
happen.
that either.
I'm just saying that like in the episode, it seems like they're tying in this historical significance between this earthquake that happened in the beginning of the episode and then an earthquake that kind of keeps happening in Jordan.
Right.
And
But I don't. I just have a different opinion. Is why I was going to say. I'm not. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like it's interesting and they seem to be tied together in some thematical way, and also it seems to
But
be
specifically the crack in the road that was like covered in glass
Yeah.
and had a number on it.
yeah.
I see that
all
as
about?
something that probably happened like the day of or week of or something, the 14th.
Well, you
back
know
when
what?
it happened, and the reason it has a 7. Was it a 7? It was a
Yeah.
number there.
Is
Is that there are like a few things around the town that
6
you
or
like?
7.
Yeah, then it's a 7 because I don't think it was a 6 in my memory.
guys,
and it's like things around the wait, I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
Things around the town that you like go and see as a tourist that are like these are the evidence of what happened, didn't happen, whatever. That was my assumption on that. However, I didn't experience the episode as suggesting that town has many earthquakes. I felt the opposite. Like, why would you put a fucking Why would you make it super special that some earthquake moment happened in that one spot if this town has earthquakes all the time? I thought the opposite, that like earthquakes rarely happen there, and that's why that earthquake crack in the ground is significant. And the theme I took from all that is that it's the idea that the Garden of Eden is cracking.
Interesting. I think if the earthquake thing was rare, they would be like more worried about it. Like no one seems to like.
That's
Confirm
true.
it's a 7.
Oh yay,
Oh,
7.
thank you, Brett.
Is that a Jesus number too?
I just feel like there would be some indication in the.
Oh, really?
I feel like there would be some
course.
indication in the
7th day he rested.
I feel like there'd be an indication in the episode at some point
If
with
it was
some
unique.
character being like, "We don't normally get earthquakes around here,"
Right.
or like something like that.
I feel like I would have something that indicated more so that they do, but hearing what you're saying, like I could see that to be true. Obviously, I just wasn't convinced that was true while watching it. So in my head, it could go either way.
Now's the perfect time
To butter your toast,
to butter your toast, everybody.
Okay,
Why don't you
Bobby?
pause the episode,
Bobby, get out your butters.
HBO sent me
Brett,
this box when season.
Is there a live bird in it?
They sent me this box. It's a wooden box, nondescript. It doesn't even say HBO or leftovers on it.
who's there? Wooden
Were
box.
you scared?
I was excited because I was like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I was scared because I don't know if there was even an indication on the box it came in that
That it was from Hubbo.
that it was from HBO. Yeah, but
Hubbo?
Lean in
inside
a little. It's hard to hear.
inside is a sanctuary bracelet that you can wear.
Nice.
So
So
that
cool.
and it has the Jordan logo on it there.
So you can go.
So that I could go. Yeah, I can go and I can have sanctuary there. They also sent this fancy t-shirt.
Which we see in the episode hanging up.
Yeah.
I think it's episode 2.
It's hanging in the
Oh,
like
that's one.
yeah.
That's
What-
how we know what's interesting about Miracle, Texas. It's just that T-shirt.
That t-shirt.
And let's not forget my very own vial of Jordan spring water.
Written
Spring water.
in fantastic handwriting.
Yeah.
Did you drink like a little bit of it just to,
No, but if you look close at it, I don't know if you could tell here. There's like little things floating in there. There's like little gross organisms.
Oh, I like seeing your face behind it. That's
Anyway.
funny.
Thought that was pretty cool. And then
There's more.
it also came with these Polaroids of like
The town.
places in Jordan, I guess. Yeah, like
That's
there's
a
that.
tour bus.
There's that big building back there that we have no idea what it is. And then here's this like fucking crazy dude up on the thing.
on like a concrete pole.
And then here's the
When he sent that letter to Australia, who was that labeled to?
Yeah, I'm so
Addressed
curious
to.
about
oh, that's a good question.
everything
That's
to
a
do
great
with that
question. Yeah.
Because later, Garvey's dad said he was going to Australia, right?
guy. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe he mailed it to Garvey's dad.
Hold on now.
Wow.
Are you finding out, Brett?
I'm looking into it.
Ooh, I hear
Careful?
those
Don't watch out for
clickety-clicks.
spoilers potentially.
Don't watch out for spoilers. For
This
this
is
one.
in the episode, Steven.
Bobby, how's that toast?
Addressed to, hold on. It was addressed to Mr. David Burton.
Oh, right, Burton. I remember that. David Burton.
Oh, what did we think about the guy from Perfect Strangers?
Which guy is that?
The guy from Perfect Strangers, like being found.
Oh, yeah, that was caught.
Yeah.
I hope he's in it more.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Did that fall out or something?
No, this is a sticker. Also came with it. Can I, Steve? Are you trying to
That's
keep
so cool.
it secret how much shit they gave you, or
No. Why?
because
Why?
I just want to say that while we were watching the episode, every time something that's like uniquely made prop for the movie came up, I was like, "Oh, Steve, did they send you that too?" And 9 times out of 10, he goes, "Yeah." My joke by the end of these 2 episodes was, you got more stuff from HBO about the show than I've ever gotten at any Christmas.
Look, it came with
Yeah.
this.
And it's true. Look, it comes with a
So
map.
here's the thing about that map. I need everybody to understand and appreciate how long it took to put that fucking map together.
Serious, I know.
How
This
many
is
people
so
had to
much
sign off
shit.
on it?
Yes.
The design, what type of design, how detailed. I just did an exercise similar for one of our brands, and it's like a multi-month long process to get a map together.
Can I read to you what it says here while I cover the camera so I
Please.
can read it?
Put it to the side over here or something.
Well, because
Or-
I
okay,
want to be able to
whatever.
read
Yeah, whatever
do the
you need.
microphone.
Can you just have Bobby just hold it up right after?
Bobby, will you
Bobby.
hold this for God's sake? The history.
Where is he? Is he having a smoke? Of course.
Town of Miracle's former name is Jordan, Texas. It was founded in early 1800s as an outpost for Spanish soldiers. Is this the thing that's written
That's the
in
same
there?
thing. We paused a screen and
We
Steve
paused to
read.
try to read
Steve
it.
read some fuzzy letters on a plaque, and we read this whole thing. I don't know how he was able to discern the letters, but
I'm kind of a...
Steve is very skilled at reading like blurred out, chunked letters.
And you had it right here.
If you, yeah, and we had it right
The
here.
whole-
And I
Good.
thought when you were reading it off the screen, I was like, I'm sure that's the thing that's written on the map that we
Really?
just saw
Why
and
didn't you
didn't
say
read.
it out loud?
Well, half the time I say things out loud, you're like, no, I'm not pulling that clip. So I just don't say it anymore.
That has nothing to do with this. What the hell?
Okay, read it. Do you want-
It was founded in the early 1800s as an outpost for Spanish soldiers. The town grew into an agricultural hub, livestock, corn, cotton, throughout the 19th century with strong focus on livestock by the end of the 19th century. There were small amounts of oil found in the 1920s, which boosted the population from 2,000 to 5,000 residents. But ultimately, there wasn't enough oil to do any extensive drilling. Jordan was unsuitable for fracking, but towns nearly were very valuable fracking sites. So
Wait,
once
towns
again,
near it were?
towns nearby were
Oh.
very valuable fracking sites. So once again, fortune passed Jordan by. Overall, the town suffered a steady decline in economic revenue leading up to the departure. No one in town departed from Miracle on the departure. The mathematical odds of that happening are 1 in 9 tredecillion. This is, by definition, a statistical impossibility. Miracle is the largest town in the world in which this phenomenon occurred. It took a little while before people even realized that no one had departed, maybe until sometime in the early morning of the next day. It wasn't officially confirmed for a long time after that. It was about a year until the DSD recognized the town for having no departures. The town asked for national park status. Eventually, about 2.5 years after the departure, it was granted.
They're suggesting that there are other towns that had no one missing too, that we're probably not going to hear about. This is just the biggest one.
Which I guess kind of makes sense because remember we were talking about like, well, 2% isn't that many people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The credits are misleading because they make you feel like a third of the people disappeared when it's 2%.
Well, it is a lot of people. It's just not a lot of people
It's not a lot of
in
mass.
comparison to the population.
Exactly.
Let's see. The opening cave woman sequence was inspired by ideas from consulting producer / religious expert Reza Aslan, including
how do I know who she is?
including him saying that the
Him.
earliest religions were people in caves looking up at birds in the sky.
Say that again. The earliest what?
The earliest religions were people in caves looking up at birds in the sky. Damon Lindelof
Yeah.
has also joked that the opening cave woman sequence was designed to piss off television critic Andy Greenwald, who notoriously hated the first season of the show. Greenwald did indeed dislike the opening sequence, but went on to praise the remainder of seasons 2 and 3. Huh. Let's see.
It's a lot to think about when you think about like prehistoric times or whatever, and they see birds flying, and there's no like ability to truly understand what a bird is or how that
Right.
works.
Right.
I
So
took
you think they're a deity or they're above you in some way. Yeah, I mean, it's one of my top 5 favorite things to get lost thinking about is in medieval times, people who lived in like the offshoot villages would be born, live an entire life, and die, not totally understanding what is inside the castle.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
having no ability to have any visual reference in their brain of what is inside there or what's happening in there.
Wow, that is crazy.
That's awesome.
I've lost hours thinking about this.
Oh, here she is.
Pause. Everything pause.
What happened?
Last season of Queer Eye. Old news. But Jonathan, the little girl, is a figure skater, and his dad's like not really involved because he doesn't know what to do. He's a big
spoilers.
sports guy, doesn't know how to handle figure skating. He brings in Michelle freaking Kwan
I
to train the little girl.
I can't listen.
Why I can't listen? This is spoilers. She
No,
hasn't
this is
seen it
last
yet.
season. Last
It's
season.
last season.
Oh, okay.
She says last season.
Last
Get
season.
outta here.
Last season.
Queer Eye is maybe my favorite
Queer Eye for the
content
Straight
on
Guy
the planet.
podcast.
Oh my god, I want to do a Queer Eye podcast. Would
Well,
anybody
do it.
listen? For real, tweet
Call
me
it-
and
Guys,
tell me.
save it for your Queer Eye podcast.
Call it Queer
Maybe they
Ear.
come with another
Queer
beer.
Ear? I'm not sure that one.
You still got
I got plenty. Yeah, you're right.
I'm
Listen,
sure
Jamie.
there's so many.
Right, because
Jamie.
Michelle Kwan-
Dude, I cry at every
These video
episode without
files are
queer,
too
of Queer
big.
Eye.
Steve does not have time to cut them down. You can't just be busting in like that.
Hey, Officer Mustard Stain.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
We needed to know about the greatness.
We needed that moment.
People
yeah.
need to be pointed out that the new
no
season of
warning
Queer
about
Eye's
the
out.
Queer Eye spoilers. I apologize to Bobby and the audience at large.
It's okay. They're an old season. Y'all should have watched.
In tongue-in-cheek fashion, the script for this episode starts, and so let us begin in the most obvious place to begin. Interior cave, night. Tom Perrotta jokingly referred to the sequence as previously on The Leftovers, and the writers also called the sequence previously on Earth.
Very funny. It actually is, but the way you're reading it, I'm, feeling dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys hear that
What do
ambulance?
you guys think's going on?
Oh, guys, Michael's stand is number 121. You know that where he's selling the little
Oh,
vials,
really?
and
I'm about to get pissed if they don't answer some of these questions.
Nora's 100% positive response on her test thing was
says she's
121.
pregnant. Oh, just kidding.
Was 121.
Which test?
The thing where you remember it was like you fill out the
Oh, you're just
questionnaire
referring
test
us to
thing.
the previous episode. I
Yes.
thought it was something
We
new.
have to
I'm
get-
sorry.
Do we have to get 121 tattooed on us now as well?
Oh man. Not unless they answer the damn question, what does that mean?
Oh, the man with the hands prints.
Well, you're talking about
Mhm.
two different
Two
things,
different
but
things?
they're both cool.
The Loved Ones commercial from Two Boats and a Helicopter is heard again on the TV.
Love
if you noticed
boats.
that.
Is it called Love Boats?
Loved Ones.
Oh my god, what's wrong
Two
with
boats
me
and a
today?
helicopter.
I have two boats and a helicopter in my ears.
Two boats, one cup.
Oh yeah.
Anything else interesting here? The new main titles are reminiscent of the Guilty Remnants Christmas Day PowerPoint presentation in the book, in which departed individuals have been clumsily deleted from photos, leaving a pale gray blob. Jerry's goat killing ritual is inspired by a passage in the book that describes Nora passing a man ritualistically slicing a sheep's throat during a long, slightly freaky stretch of her regular biking trail.
What's his name?
Whose name? Oh, Jerry.
Yeah, because when he comes in, she goes, "Oh, Jerry."
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, unless she said it. Yeah, you're right.
All right. Well, that was
He just
still
got
all the
story
first.
and pulls it out.
That's all still the first episode. So what'd you guys think?
The first time I watched this,
I think we should look at episode 1 and 2 because they.
and do them together. Yeah, we could. They fit. Wait. Let me tell you though.
Oh.
The first time I watched this season, I remember thinking, okay, nobody went missing from Miracle, or did they? And thinking that it was possible people covered shit
Oh.
up because so many people in that town are really weird. I just
How
thought
could you
that.
cover that up though? Like if people came to like
People
study
who weren't
it.
registered to be living there. I don't know. I thought of it as a plot line. Obviously, it's not. If
Oh,
you're gonna
okay.
fight me on it, spoilers.
Well, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm just saying, like, don't you think if it was like if they
The
were?
question is, are people missing now?
Well, yeah. Well, what happened to,
Double
to the
question.
main dude's daughter?
And what's with the water theme? Water. What are
Where's
you
the
doing?
daughter? What's your guys'
Where's
theories?
the water?
Where's the
Well,
water?
you're
Where's
skipping,
the?
you're
well, the
skipping
water
quite
went into the-
ahead.
Well, Brett said we should talk about both episodes.
Yeah, well, let's recap number twice. Episode 2 is what that means. No, shall we not?
Well, I
That's-
I
mean,
will say at the end of episode 2, before they showed Kevin in the lake tied to the cinder block, I was like, "Fuck this episode!" Like we already knew all this. You know, it felt like
Mm.
2 steps forward.
or like, why are we seeing it again?
Oh, I
Yeah.
really liked it because I felt like we needed a little bit of familiar shit after they continue to not tell us answers.
Craziest thing about episode 2 was the guilty rabbit, the
Rabbits.
Guilty
rabbit.
rabbis.
The guilty rabbits.
The guilty rabbits are just fucking gone. Like they burn their shit down and they're like, well, that's it. Because his ex-wife, when she came to pick up Tom,
She ain't no
wasn't
Rem.
wearing white
No white, no
and wasn't
Siggy.
chain smoking.
Yeah.
Well, the guilty remnant in Jarden is gone. It seems,
Or maybe they never existed.
but I think the guilty remnant is still a cult that exists in that universe.
I would
Not in
assume so.
Jarden, in
I said in Mapleton.
I
Oh,
said a
wait. What
boom
was it
to the
called?
boom. Mapleton and Jarden are the two
Mapleton.
places.
It
What
was
are you
Mapleton?
Suggesting, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he was standing there and all the guilty remember the Titans had burned down.
Yep.
Um.
And there were no remnants.
Which is
to be seen.
synonymous with the burning down in Jarden that the fucking fire department is doing.
It's not the remnants.
It's like the stuff I'm like, I don't even fucking know. It's like I don't talk about it because I'm like, I don't know. Guy
says-
with handprints getting thrown out the window of his own house while they burn it down and being seemingly okay with it.
I was wondering about
Or
those.
understanding. And it just seems like they go after anyone who is trying to benefit from they're trying to infer that there was some sort of magic or spiritual reason that no one was taken from their
I
town.
think it has more to
Or
do
that
with
people
like
have
making
any
money off of it.
Or that people have any spiritual gifts at all that they are
But why the fire
broadcasting.
department?
I don't know that it's a legal thing that they're doing. It seems like it was kind of under wraps. Like, I don't know that people
I don't
knew.
think it's legal.
What?
I said no. I don't think it's legal.
Oh, okay. Well, but what I'm saying is I don't think it's the role of the fire department to do that. I think the chief of the fire department was like, we're going to do this. And they're like, okay. Not that that makes sense. It doesn't make sense.
The script excerpt released on HBO's website, where they used to like send you script pieces sometimes.
God, they sent you everything.
It says that it was just like a print. It was just like an email that had like an image.
This one they sent to
Alright.
Bobby.
It says it shows a bit of extra dialogue that was cut from the episode when Kevin asks Kevin Sr. if the voices just went away. Kevin Sr. replies, "No, sir. I walked through the fire for a while. Then I relented. Turns out the answer was right in front of me the whole time." At which point he says he started doing what they told him to do. Huh. So they just cut out all that, and then he said,
Hmm.
"No, sir. I just started to do what they told me to do."
Walk through the fire is an interesting
Yeah.
mention.
Virgil says he lives on Leddicker Road. Okay, that's interesting.
Who's Virgil?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Hey, the Garvey's house number is 420.
Oh, shit. We got a player here.
Jackpot.
Yeah.
So listen,
Go ahead, buddy.
I like it all. I like that there's now this like pending, not doom, but Garvey being next door to the. It's got a very Dexter vibe.
Yeah.
That it's like, you know, what's the new guy's name? The fireman.
John. It's John.
John, yeah.
John is clearly like our de facto, antagonist, and Kevin is the protagonist, but John doesn't know. John?
Yeah, John.
John doesn't know that Kevin is a cop or an ex-cop at this point.
Seemingly, yeah.
A lot of like
He
simmering tension that I really liked that I feel like we didn't have in season 1.
Yeah.
It was more like external tension between Kevin and the GR because of his wife and all of it. Like all of the conflict and tension was out front. Everybody was being very like public about the tension. This season it feels like they're trying to like bring the tension behind closed doors, make it a little more internalized, which I think is more more thrilling and more captivating.
Right.
Yeah.
From a viewership perspective. So to that degree, I'm very excited.
I was feeling nervous because of John's disdain for people who seem to have some kind of unworldly gift or think that they do. That like, I'm thinking this Garvey guy is going to start having some expressions of what's going on. Like he's stopped the medication, he stopped doing shit, and he's still what he calls sleepwalking and doing crazy things that are, I don't know, seeing dead people and all that. So I feel like that's what I'm most excited to see how that plays out.
Well, I'm curious if he's sleepwalking at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think
because he woke up in the lake with a fucking cinder block tied to his leg that's saying something pretty specific, and it felt like he was able to physically interact with Pam. What's her name?
Patty.
Yeah, Patty. Oh yeah,
Patty.
she slanged him on the grind.
Well, I think I think they confirmed that he's sleepwalking pretty much.
Well, he thinks he's
that
sleepwalking.
slow
That
push
we know.
on him in bed with Nora, and then like it cuts to him like basically in the lake.
Yeah, but sleepwalking.
I mean, like sleepwalking, yes, but what I mean is like I think that he is intuiting it as like innocent, like a condition, whereas I think he's being led as opposed to
I
just
see.
Yeah.
You think it's involuntary,
Or
well,
maybe
it
his
already was.
subconscious takes over. It could be a part of him, but it's not.
I think whoever's telling his dad to do stuff is telling him to do stuff, but he's only listening in his sleep.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
exactly. When his guard is down a bit more, he is more receptive, as we all are.
What did you think about how he got away with Patty's death, and then the revelation that he just like flat out tells his daughter and Nora what the fuck happened?
Loved it.
I thought that was a nice way to like button it up, because in the end, it's like the worst that's going to happen to him is potentially a short jail time or, probation with community service. Like he didn't kill her, and I think that an autopsy would reveal that. So it wasn't like he was going to get pinned for homicide. But I loved the apathy with which he was released, as if to say like the GR has probably done enough across the nation to interfere with law enforcement and to kind of break the law where necessary. They were breaking into people's houses, obviously, things like that. That the police have essentially said like, fuck them, whatever happens to him happens to him. It's I feel like, I don't know, it's a weird time in history to be discussing this, but it's very like, they're like, yeah, if people happen to kill the GR, that saves us a little time. And that seems like the opinion, which is very,
and nobody likes them, and it's not like, yeah.
Well, I think she would have.
I guess what I'm getting to is like, it says a lot about our main character.
Yeah.
In the fact that he was like, I'm going to stop being a cop because I don't even feel like the thing I did was right. Whereas the other law enforcement are like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? I think that it gives us a lot of like, it gives us an ability to really trust in him, which is interesting because when he goes to sleep, like he can't trust himself. So it gives us kind of a lot of information in the way that the cops responded to that.
Wow. I
love that. Jink. But also, I think it part of her letting him go, to her credit-ish, is that he's confident that Patty killed herself. Like, because she asked him quite a few times, oh, she killed herself? You sure she killed herself? All right.
Yeah, and I think there was a moment where someone said
we're not going to be concerned about the rest.
Yeah, and
you're going to commit to that, and you're a police guy, and I'm going to just
like they're okay
you.
with him taking her as a leader of the GR and interrogating her in a less than traditional sense. They're okay with that.
Yeah.
And the fact that she killed herself, it's like we don't really have to do anything here.
Yeah.
You were within the parameter of what we think is okay.
Yeah.
I did pull the clip and then got rid of it because it was like 7 minutes long to really build out, but not actually 7 minutes, but about the eye patch. She's like going to ask about the eye.
I was just gonna say I love Lady Nick Fury.
Yeah,
Oh.
it felt like a Watchmen character.
Yeah.
It felt
Yeah.
like
I want to
it
see
felt-
more
it
of
feels
her.
like all of these worlds, the Lindelof worlds, are like folding in on each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
You can
interesting
kind of
to
tell
see
what
this
happened in
one.
his childhood.
It's interesting to see this one next after seeing Watchmen.
Yeah, I think we're doing it in the right order.
Yeah, yeah, it's an interesting order for sure.
I would recommend it.
Let's go to clips.
Chill,
Let's
bro.
get it.
Want to do it?
Yeah,
Why don't we just do it?
let's dive in.
Got yourself a fish biscuit. Magic fucking hurts.
Jackpot.
Shh, Kevin. Please, Kevin. Kevin, please. Kevin!
I say fuck to
Time for some
Hey,
clips.
hey, Officer.
cheeseburger?
Hey, hey.
All right, let's
Wait,
listen
I
to
thought
some
of
clips.
something I want to say real quick. The baby Jesus at the end of episode 2, when they have that pie. First of all, HBO also sent Steve a pie.
Oh yeah, they did send me a pie
Just like that pie.
wrapped up in a little
Oh, I was going
handkerchief
to
too.
jokingly ask if there was a pie in that box.
They did send me a pie, but it wasn't in that box.
Um,
It wasn't in that box.
Sounds a little suggestive. But that pie where John is like wondering if it's maybe poisoned or something because potentially something bad is going to happen to him. The guy
Well, he just
said,
thinks he's just watching his back now because the guy said something bad.
Right. And the wife suggests maybe it was poisoned and it's a mysterious, nobody knows where it came from pie. La 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 la. The fact that he's a little paranoid about it, and then the pie, they go and get the pie to bring it over to him. There's a moment where the like little black baby Jesus has her little hand like floating over the pie, and I'm certain that she healed the pie. Pie's safe now.
Did she heal the pie?
We got a pie healer.
Maybe we got a
Got
pie.
pie healer here.
It's
But
important.
Did they
now.
eat it anyway? I don't know that they ate
Yeah.
it anyway.
I think they ate
Oh,
it.
did they?
Because
I
the
didn't
the,
remember
the daughter
seeing it.
dropped the cake. The
Yeah,
daughter
but
dropped the cake. The,
The
daughter
daughter
dropped the cake.
The daughter dropped the cake.
All right. This first clip
Cake farts.
is this.
fucking crackers.
These are crackers?
Frackers.
Oh,
Crackers.
Fucking crackers.
I don't remember
Yeah.
that. What is that from?
That was from the guy who was next to John's son when he set up camp, and there was a little bit of a like rumble, and he seemed to infer that the frackers were causing these earthquakes.
Wait, John's son when he set up camp?
No, it's when they're at
Who set up
Matt,
camp?
when they're at Matt's
Not camp,
house.
like the
and
little
they're setting
sail.
up the tent for them to for them all to sleep in.
No. It's when he's on Main Street and he's setting up his little
his
tent,
Oh,
a little stand
yes.
to give away his water and
Yes, correct.
promote the church.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
give away my water for the church.
Yeah.
Pay what you want.
We know you didn't depart, Mark. Why'd you fake your departure?
No comprende, no comprende.
We know it's you, Mark.
No, Mark. No, Mark está.
I'm so happy.
You know it's you, Mark.
We know it's you, Mark. The Pope hasn't been seen out of the Vatican.
Oh yeah.
Bobby, go get Mark.
Bobby. Oh, there's the little cricket. That's the next clip.
I hire prostitutes to shoot me. I hire prostitutes to shoot me.
That's a good one.
I love that they needed no more context.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's why you have the gun. That makes sense.
Because his is worse.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
They were too busy thinking about his. They had another dinner night chat about her hooker killing. or the getting
The attempted.
murders.
Hooker
What the
killing. That's a
fuck
whole.
was
That's a
that?
whole weekend.
It is a whole weekend. You can't just go. It's not something you just go to a new place and try it out.
No.
You don't go to Vegas.
What the fuck was that?
Oh, was that
That's a
Patty?
great clip.
Yeah,
Oh,
What
well
the
done.
that
fuck
seems
was that?
reusable.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a very reusable one.
Oh, we have a tent.
That's a great
Because
pull.
he was so excited about the tent.
Oh, we have a tent.
He is an outrageous character who I
him.
love.
I love him so much.
Chief Garvey has secured the pie. Pie is secure. Over.
Do you hope that Patty is just like basically like Drop Dead Fred, and she's just around him all
Yeah,
the
it
time?
definitely got vibes of like what was it, Idle Hands
Yeah.
and American Werewolf.
Yeah.
In London or Paris, you take your pick.
But what about Drop Dead Fred, Brett?
Drop Dead Fred, did they do that with the dead characters coming back?
Well, okay, I guess he's not dead, but he is like imaginary, and he's just hanging around and doing goofy shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more there for it with Idle Hands.
Yeah, you're right. And American Werewolf, you're right. All right, final clip. Here we go.
So she killed herself. The world spins on. Good riddance, Patricia. We hardly fucking need you.
There it is.
What's that one from?
That's the clip from when the eye patch girl is saying he.
Oh, yes,
Officer Eye Patch.
Yeah.
Officer Ivy.
What would her name be? What is there? Has there ever been a girl Nick Fury? I'm sure there has been.
I'm
Nicola
sure. I don't
Fury?
follow Marvel.
Oh, that's right. You're not a Marvel boy.
Nicola Fury,
closely.
can we?
All right, you guys ready for emails?
That was my move of
Emails.
Let's do it.
You have the new song?
What's the new song?
I don't know. We had
Wasn't there a
song
new
last week.
last week we got a new song for something. Did we already use it?
Oh shit! Well, now I don't even know. Now I'm all
shit.
confused.
No,
Was there a new one that we didn't put in there?
So confused.
I feel like that was a new clip song, and this is probably the new email song, but we should probably use one from the old and one from the new for, inclusive purposes.
What about?
Well, while
I
Steve,
think that was right. Play that clip.
What
you were
about
playing
this
with
one?
the
What's
guitar.
this one?
this is the older one, I believe.
That's the old one. Where's the one with the guitar?
Where's Waldo?
Took your top.
Yeah,
This
this is the newer one.
Look who's here.
Fuck your daughter.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, shit! Billy Ray. Officer Mustard Stain.
Time for some
Emails. Nice.
Clifford
like that.
Odell sends an email. Clifford, welcome.
Jack.
Nice to hear from you. He says, I'm sorry. Hey, gang.
Why is he saying
I'd
sorry?
like to apologize for two things. First, I'd like to say sorry for the name bungle during The Watchmen that you've probably forgotten about. Okay. Secondly, I'm sorry for not respecting
You're
the format.
forgiven.
After that finale, I couldn't stop, and I have now watched most of season 2. There are many amazing clips for you to pull, and I can't wait for Brett to see the episode where Kevin and Matt make out for 30 minutes while Eleanor Rigby plays on a loop. That's not fair to spoil the show like that.
That's my favorite episode, though.
I'll pull it.
Love you guys. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks, Clifford.
Thanks, Cliffy.
Beto's got a shorter email. Jackpot.
You know what clip I should have pulled? Is the end of episode 2.
The cricket sound?
No, that was the end of episode 1.
Oh.
Episode 2 was Patty being like, "Oh, you're in trouble now," or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, now I want to watch the next episode."
Yeah.
Beto says, hello, bearded boys and Alana. Happy belated birthday, Steve. Here's them notes. Thank you, my friend. Regina King really has a thing for guys named John, huh? The firefighters were discussing how big the fire was going to be beforehand, so I don't think that's the first time they've done that.
That was our guess.
Yeah.
Of course it wasn't. The place they were renting got burnt down for the same reason, I'm sure.
John asks his wife to invite the Garveys for dinner. She asks, Are you going to work on your birthday? What does that mean? Is John gathering info to decide whether to burn their house down?
Yes.
That's what I got.
That's what I got too. Brett?
Yeah, 100%. I'm curious what the law enforcement situation is in Miracle, and if Kevin's going to step up.
Yeah, me too. Me three.
It's going to be Kevin versus John.
I'm curious what jobs they're going to get, because don't they still need money if she spent all her millions on that house?
I don't know, but there just might be a new sheriff in town.
She could have hung in there, probably bid it up to, I would say probably got her for like 2.8. And then they could have saved,
a college fund for young
she probably
baby?
could have got it away with it 2.5, 2.6. And then, that's a 1-for-1 for a house. Then they have the savings. They have the sale of Kevin's house.
Brett's a real adult.
We're talking about, you can live on that for several years without having to work.
Not in
I feel like it was
LA.
a missed opportunity. I think his anger when he smacked the wall, I get it. With that kind of frivolous expenditure.
Yeah, Steve felt the same way.
I just realized too. There was. Remember when the girl
Their
was
wizard?
eating eggs in the beginning of the episode?
Yeah, and that's why she's making eggs in the beginning.
And then Regina
her
King was
day.
making eggs. There's so many. There's eggs again in this show.
Well, I think it was just connecting
so
those
what
two.
happens? Here's what happens. So in Porky's, he has
Oh my
one
God.
hard-boiled egg and one raw egg, and he kind of throws the raw egg so you see it's a raw egg, and then he pretends to smash the egg on the guy's forehead.
Yeah.
Doesn't go everywhere because it's
It's a
cooked there.
It's a hard-boiled egg.
But then he gets the kid to go over to the big bully guy, the guy they named Meat, and
Of
try the
course.
same thing, but they're both raw. So he ends up smashing an egg on Meat's head, and he chases him off. It's great.
Man, don't you just love to
Don't
smash an
rewatch
egg on
Don't
Meat's
rewatch
head?
Porky's.
You didn't have
stress
to.
this enough.
You didn't have to
There's
say that.
no need to rewatch it.
You don't have to worry about it. So the whole thing with this town is that it's a miracle that no one departed. They are safe and it's the best place to be, right? Let's compare that to the fact that there are firefighters burning houses, Regina King's burying birds alive, nymphs running around naked in the woods, a homeless Santa Claus living in a tower, and crazy fuckers sacrificing goats at the diner. Maybe not so great.
Yes. I want to talk about Regina and the bird. I think she has some abilities too now. Maybe it's just since the disappearing. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But also the girls. I was gonna say, yeah, they're giving all these nymph qualities to them. Like they're totally sirens in the beginning in the water. What is he suggesting with all that?
What if Leftovers is a sequel to Watchmen?
What if it's
And
a sequel to the
Regina
Odyssey?
King has become Dr. Manhattan. But she's in disguise.
That would have been
And she
cool.
used the Thanos snap
And
to
she-
get rid of
she
2%
snapped
of
everybody
it.
out.
Yeah.
Wait,
The
but
reason they didn't take anyone from Miracles because she's in Miracle.
I'm in. And she didn't want to see her friends and family disappear.
Right.
I
Love
just
it.
100%.
I had another theory in the beginning of that email come into my head. May I share, please?
Please.
So my theory is when the first October 14th disappearing happened, that's when that crack happened in the sidewalk in the road.
Potentially.
Because there was some earthquake that happened, but nobody disappeared. But this time, a bigger earthquake happened, and some people from that town potentially disappeared. So an earthquake happens in the Garden of Eden every time the disappearing happens.
Well, I don't know if I'm in line with the Garden of Eden stuff. I think that's interesting, but
You
I
don't
like-
think so?
No, but I do like the idea of.
Well, what is your
As
definition
someone
of
who's
the
already
Garden of
seen
Eden?
this show, you're not
Eden.
in line with it. That's what you're saying.
I know.
Well, I don't
Spoily.
remember a lot of things.
But what is your
so-
definition of Garden of Eden? Because
What do you
maybe that's
mean?
different.
Well, I don't
What is
think
your
the Garden
definition
of
of
Eden
Garden of
was a
Eden?
real place, first of all, and I also don't think it.
But if it were a real place, like what would it?
I don't
what
think it would be in
What would its
Texas.
properties be?
I don't think it would be in Texas. I think it would be like in some European country or something, or like maybe India or something like that. I don't know, but I don't
Well,
think
if it existed, it would have been like Pangea or earlier. So
true, but
Yeah.
I don't think it would be in
You
Texas.
know, to this day, people are looking for it.
Well, there you go.
But they're looking for everything. But wait, what?
Um,
Because the reason I ask is why would you say this couldn't be a Garden of Eden or
Well,
the Garden of
I
Eden?
just don't
Like, what are the
think-
properties of a Garden of Eden in your mind?
I mean, I guess like a really pure place that's like, because supposedly the Garden of Eden is a paradise where like nobody worries about their naked bodies, and nobody cares about anything, and it's all like this beautiful place of like joy and happiness. But if they
I took it as once the apple was eaten, all places were no longer the nakedness.
Well,
thing and all
yeah.
that.
So technically, the whole world was like the Garden of Eden, but the Garden of Eden was just where the forbidden apple was.
Because I don't have a lot of Christian learnings, so I don't know if there's something about the Garden of Eden I'm unaware of that would negate this theory. But in my head, the Garden of Eden is like a place that has some kind of special magic, energy, whatever, that in the context of it being geographical, maybe it's a geographical energy point. Sure. Why not? Like magnetism of some sort.
Yeah.
I do see it as, that's why I see it as a Garden of Eden potential.
Yeah,
but I don't know if there are other elements.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad theory. I'm just saying I don't agree with it. I don't think that's not my theory, but I think it's interesting for sure. But I do like the idea that maybe jumping off of your theory,
jumping off the boat,
that maybe people are departing, like the departing is taking longer to get to the people from Jarden for some reason. It's catching up to the Jarden people now since no one disappeared.
Wait, I didn't think of it that way. That's interesting.
Yeah. Huh. Sound alert.
I think the Garden of Eden, the way you described it, is in a young boy's mind.
Yes.
Oh. Wait, the way I described it or Steve described it?
It's like a purity of
oh,
no sin.
Well, I mean, we can't forget that we had them running through the woods naked, completely out of context, random vision.
There's certainly imagery that would suggest, especially with all the religious
That's not random.
stuff.
Like, they need to work out contracts with those girls to be able to even get
Well,
that.
let's hope they did work out a contract with them.
What does it mean?
Let's see. I do love that people from different religions visit the town. There were priests, nuns, rabbis, monks, and more. It's like the American Jerusalem. Interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, quite.
Episode 2, 1 month old, adorable. He's white though. That was a fun sound alert. That would have been a funny one to get.
Yeah.
Remember they're like, you want to take
I was
this
wondering
baby?
if that was like a test. I didn't understand that.
I think it's because they have like a surplus of orphaned babies for some reason, and they were like, "You want to take another one?"
That's true.
We were thinking it's maybe because of the Memorial Day.
No, why? That's like 3 years later.
We're thinking because it's the Memorial Day situation.
It might have been because of the Memorial Day violence.
People were killing
It's a shrug.
each other and
I don't
burning
know.
their houses and stuff. Who knows? I don't know. Or maybe there's just a surplus of babies.
Maybe
at that
it'll
particular location.
Tie back later. Maybe I can't tie my shoes.
Good character development. Jill said in the first season how nobody is okay. Now when Tom from Kaboom says it to her, we can see how far she's come.
you.
Great.
Maybe Kevin Sr. is better now because his son took up the mantle, whether Junior wants it or not.
I hear that.
Interesting.
Personally disagree. But that's interesting.
I didn't get it at first. Hot Cop doesn't seem like the dubstep kind of guy. It makes sense if he's trying
Dude, I
to drown the
fucking
voices
love-
down. What's that?
I loved that he was just like, the baby cries all the time. I'm going to put in headphones and I'm just going to turn it up to 11.
Yeah, but they told us at the end why he's doing that.
Yeah, but he's doing that because he's drowning out the voices. He doesn't want Patty to... He's trying not to hear Patty or see Patty. Well,
Yeah.
Or whoever
But I'm saying in
else.
that moment in the laundromat, that's
Right.
what I thought was going on. And I was like, I'm
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone else was in here.
You can tell that you have kids and I don't because I had the opposite reaction. I was like, how irresponsible of him.
I mean, it is like, but it's like I said, it's not something I would do, but it's something that I'm like, yeah, I feel you. Like,
Right.
I can see how you could get there.
It's cathartic for a parent.
Yeah, it's like she's crying. I have something to do. I can't stop her from crying, so we're just gonna exist together in this moment.
Why do you think they named her Lily? That has been
Oh,
boggling my mind.
There was a thing.
One
on
L.
Hang on. There was a thing on the wiki that said something. Let me see if I
There
can
was a
find it.
slap
The
on
baby
it.
being named Lily is reminiscent of Tom telling Christine to name her after a flower or a bird or a month.
When did he say that?
I guess in... Oh, it says in the book. Never mind.
Oh.
Could have been in season 1 too, but who knows.
Well,
yeah, it
mumble.
doesn't really say anything else
All right.
about it. I gotta say, postmortem Patty is much funnier.
One book?
What?
There's just the one book.
I don't know. This thing seems to suggest that maybe not, but I haven't seen. I'm not sure.
I've tried to like not look.
Yeah, same. Spoily
I'll
alert.
look in a second. I do love that people from different. Oh no, that was another thing. I gotta say, postmortem Patty is much funnier. Chief Garvey has secured the pie. Over. She's full of zingers. Great 2 episodes. I love how we're just starting off the season and it goes batshit crazy real quick. Stay safe and clean. Don Beto.
Thank you, Beto.
Matthew Mayer says, in defense of Beto. Hello, first timers. I just wanted to say I think you're too hard on Beto for his long emails. Despite their length, I think his points of observation help draw attention to things that may have been missed during your discussion. This viewer hopes that you continue to read his emails and not push him towards too much brevity.
Good news. We got great news for you.
I agree. I think he has great points.
There's one Leftovers book, but he also wrote the book for Election and Little Children.
Oh.
Wait, wrote the book for? The screenplay?
Now, stick with me here. Little Children. Tom, the guy who wrote the book for Leftovers, also wrote the book for Little Children. The director of Little Children made a movie before Little Children called
Beto's emails.
In the Bedroom.
Is this supposed to tie together that I should understand?
No! How?
Yeah.
Dude,
What? Explain to me.
Easy You
Oh,
and
yeah.
In the Bedroom are really all in the same universe, I guess. Because
All right.
Brett brings up In the Bedroom a lot. It's an old bit. Don't worry about it. It's you don't have to.
It's a really, really awful, sad movie.
This is just
it's
for
a great
Brett.
movie. I don't want to say it's awful. It's just really will ruin your day.
Yeah, that's not a movie for me.
Right.
All right, thank you, Matthew. And we did read. I liked Beto's current email. I thought it was really good, and he did have some great points.
We should put up a poll and see if we should allow only Beto to have long emails.
Elizabeth Hicks says Leftovers season 2 episodes 1 and 2. Hi y'all, I was beyond excited when you announced that you'd be watching The Leftovers. My brother and I have shared a love for this show, and it is on both of our lists of our favorite shows of all time. This is my 3rd rewatch of the show, and at the risk of saying anything remotely spoilery, I have some really quick general observations.
Ooh, I'm excited.
1. I absolutely love the theme song, Let the Mystery Be by Iris DeMont, and the opening title sequence to go along with it. What?
In the 2nd season?
Yes.
Okay.
Let the mystery be.
Season 2 has some of the best acting I've ever seen, and also has one of my favorite episodes of television ever.
It's not 1 or 2, is it?
What?
Did she say if it's episode 1 or 2?
No.
All right.
Justin Theroux is distressingly hot. And Nora is a badass bitch and my hero forever.
Yes.
I hope you all enjoy the rest of the show as much as I do, and I can't wait to get your takes on what happens this season. Love you guys, Liz.
Yeah, thank you, Liz. There was a scene where Nora and Regina King are just together interacting at the barbecue. And man, that's just, it was just 2 miracle women just communicating and
being in the same scene
being
together.
perfect, and
Yeah.
I almost could explode.
It was really wonderful seeing them in a scene together.
I want a movie that's got them 2 inside of it.
Yeah. Jing Zhang Max.
Huh?
Yeah, Lindelof, you listening?
Lindy.
Lindelof.
Dr.
tell me.
Lindy.
Max sends an email saying Nora Durst needs a financial advisor. He says, hey, y'all, I'll keep my emails shorter from now on. Thank you, sir. Just some thoughts from the new episode and the latest first-time show. The new email clips themes are so good, way better than mine, but I'm so glad that you guys even played mine for as long as you did. New themes for the win. Everyone's doing
I still
great.
like his clips theme.
I don't
Agreed.
remember whose is whose, but there were none that were all bad.
That opening scene of season 2, was it from the National Geographic magazine, or what if Holly Wayne was a descendant of that tribeswoman?
Holy Wayne.
You're right, it is Holly Wayne.
Holy Wayne.
Holly Wayne.
That's-
I'm aligned I think it's interesting if it ties into the National Geographic somehow.
Yeah, but that was Brett's theory that he's a descendant.
Regina King cooking eggs. You know when you wake up in the middle of the night and get really thirsty? Maybe Kevin was sleepwalking and drank up all the water. Oh no, in that river? Thirsty Kevin. We're all thirsty for Kevin. Also, budget Sam Elliott at the auction. Love, Max.
Yeah.
Crimson.
Kevin McKee says, short thought about geography-based disappearances. Howdy. If Nora's family all disappeared because they were all in one small area, but the lady that Kevin was getting wacky with disappeared, and Kevin didn't, then the geography-based disappearances is kind of disproven.
I disagree.
Just a thought. Also, the MIT dude explaining to Nora what anomalous means is on brand. God bless Kevin. Hashtag Brett no. Brett no. Get out of here, Kevin.
I love hearing the critical thinking, but I disagree because my theory would be that if it's geographical at all, it would more have to do, it wouldn't be like every single being in that space for sure is going to disappear, just like a higher frequency of disappearance in that area. Does that make sense? Like a stronger frequency that relates to why the disappearance happened in certain areas. Because there are like, like longitudes and latitudes.
You just came, they don't take you.
But you know what I mean? Like longitudes and latitudes around the planet like that. There's a theory that there are energy lines similar to that around the planet, and that explains some of the magnetized things that happen on our planet with like all sorts of shit. Anyway, so I would say it would be something if it was something along those lines, it would just be like, oh, there's a higher X, Y, whatever magnetism frequency in this space, so more likelihood of disappearance here versus less likelihood here, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, plus, like, plenty of people have departed near each other or whatever.
Yes,
I think they wouldn't be throwing that much money into the research
to really
if
think
that wasn't a massive factor in it, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Maggie.
Fish in that lake.
What?
She's fishing.
Plenty of fish in that lake.
That's right, damn it. Maggie Pfaff sends an email saying, Leftovies. Hello, boys and girl. I'm Maggie, and here are some thoughts I had. By the way, loving the show. From Axis Mundi. Watching this cave woman pull a baby out of her vahoon is not what I expected to see today. I absolutely love the score. Oh my god, this is so interesting to have a place no one departed, and it's a huge tourist trap. Yeah, it's totally cool. Love it. Matter of geography, this new intro has a totally different vibe. How do you guys feel about it? I think we talked about that. That opening scene was amazing. The emotional depth and reactions were chef's kiss. Did Patty just break the fourth wall? Not sure if they're part of your story or you're part of theirs.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
P.S. It's so weird seeing people without masks on in public on the show. Yeah, well, just look in Miami, look in Florida, and look in L.A., and you'll see plenty of people not wearing masks.
L.A. isn't that bad.
Well, Season 2, Disco Babies, Benjamin Graham says, I love the podcast, and I love you all. Just had this idea and wanted to get these made so that Steve can play them way too much. Okay, I'm downloading them right now. Fingers crossed for a jackpot level of play here. And if you don't like them, that's fine. Took like 2 minutes. Wear your masks if you're protesting. Black Lives Matter. Defund the police. Love, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Danke,
All right,
Ben.
here we go. Part 1 is the name of this first clip.
Hey, officer. Stand.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's
Brett died.
That's great. Yeah.
Hey, officer, come.
Hey, officer. Stand.
That's great.
Stand.
All right, here's part 2.
Magic fucking.
Yeah.
That goes right along with Whitney's short.
And then here's the third one.
I say 2.
Well, thank you very much, Benjamin. Those are great clips.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Is that the only time E.T. says that in the movie?
I don't know. Someone let us know. Beto. Bobby.
Interesting.
Bobby.
Daniel says his secret is moisturizing. Hi there, first timers. Really enjoyed these episodes. New intro. Regina King is on the show. That intro was just a dope short film that could stand alone.
Yeah.
2 questions.
By the way, real quick, sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Regina King, the guy who plays John. It couldn't have been Harold Perrineau.
Perrineau, yeah, or Perrineau, or whatever.
To connect all the worlds together.
Oh man,
I don't know
He
who
would have
you're
been
talking
great.
about.
that would have been
Not
great.
that guy is wonderful.
That
but,
guy is so good.
He's very good.
But Harold, come on.
I know.
Anyway,
Who are
that
you
would have
talking
blown my
about?
mind.
Someone from Lost. Where does Tower Man poop or shower? Best not to ask. I'm sure that's what the bucket's for. What song or band/artist would you play to drown out the voices? Daniel from Miracle, Texas. Just anything, I guess.
I would play my favorite
my
music.
music, my playlists.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a specific. You wouldn't have special.
No,
track?
because all music gets loud enough, and some good headphones will really cancel out the noises.
Well, if you,
pretty
I mean,
well, so it
frankly, I would be trying to get into a meditative state, focusing on myself, aligning with myself, and then if I still heard the voices, then I'd be like, oh, there's something good about them because they're coming from the divine aspect of me.
Whoa.
Instead of something outside of that. So it's a weird question for me because I'm a weird person. Brett, would you have an answer?
Yeah, I would say Pearl Jam.
Oh,
Pearl
nice.
Jam.
That's a much better answer. Very easy.
Joseph O'Malley sends an email saying, "Hey Steve, Alana, and Brett, hope you're all doing well. I'm excited to hear your reactions to the new theme song and the shift in setting. Hopefully you like the change of pace and you didn't find it too jarring. I think the new theme song really encapsulates what the show is about, even if it's notorious for annoying a lot of viewers." Really? I know it frustrates a lot of the people, but the show really isn't about solving the mysteries. It's about the characters and how they react to and deal with them. However, with as much of the show and Lindelof himself in interviews... Wait, what? As much as the show and Lindelof himself in interviews as early as season 1 tries to temper your expectations as to what will get answered, I was actually surprised with how much I felt got answered by the end of the show. So if you're really worried about a lack of closure, please stick with it, knowing that most things have plausible explanations, even if you'll sometimes have to choose your own answers. Faith is a huge theme of the show, after all.
That helps me. Thank you for the email. Thank you very much.
As for the episode 1 opener, I figure I'd throw in my hat into the ring as to what it might represent, as I'm sure you'll all have your own interpretations. I definitely think the Nomad Woman's journey represents the events in Jarden. She is the sole survivor of a tragedy that affects the rest of her tribe. Jarden survives the departure unscathed, unlike the rest of the world, and then she suffers a subsequent tragedy in her death, mirroring the disappearance of the girls. And there is hope for new life as the baby survives and is accepted by a new family. At this point, we haven't seen what the final event represents, so I'd love to hear your theories on what that could be if you care to. This season has some of the best television episodes of all time in any show, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts. See you next week.
Very cool.
What if Nora spent $3 million on a house in a town the day before people poofed, and the importance of the town goes away, and the house is worth like $250,000.
Yeah, and like people are like slowly departing, and so people are like trying to move the fuck out now because they're like, are we gonna be next? And the whole geography thing becomes a big issue.
I mean, that would suck, but
Israel Chavez Lopez sends an email saying, "The Leftovers seizures. Hi, BBBB boys and Summer Girl. It's your Ecuadorian boy, Israel, back again. I wanted to briefly talk about Evangeline's portrayal of a seizure and why I really liked it. What Evangeline is suffering on this episode is called absence seizures, a form of epilepsy common on kids and teens. The show does a really nice job showing how it works.
Yes.
An abrupt, profound lack of awareness, preservation of body tone, she doesn't fall to the ground, and signs of automatism, her hand was moving on a pattern. I just became a doctor last year, humble brag, but already saw...
And thank you for your works.
Thank you for your work, but I already saw a very similar case with a little girl. This seizures might seem harmless, but they can occur at the worst moments, like in the middle of crossing a street. Love the show and every single one of you. Please keep making us happy, stay safe, and wear a mask. Israel. See, Israel is a doctor, and he says wear a mask, everybody. Come on!
Oh, shit. We got a player here.
Magic fucking hugs.
What the fuck, Jill?
So, I mean, are you gonna choke me or what?
This is Dusty Bob, and this.
That's right, and great email, and I was thinking the same thing, but not off of education, just off of some documentaries I've seen.
Oh, nice. Giovanni Canoli says, thoughts from the opening of season 2. Jesus fucking Christ. I can see why Owen didn't want to do this season of the podcast. That live birth scene was vile enough to make my virgin ass want to get a vasectomy.
Hey, don't be so far into the modern world that natural things are the worst.
It is shocking to people that have never seen it, though.
I say shocking. I mean, first of all, of course, that's totally acceptable. But I feel like I have to stand up for the voice of.
Oh, it's a
let's
natural,
not make
beautiful
sure we're,
thing.
Well, let's just not make sure we're so far into this sanitized world that birth becomes more disgusting and gross than it is human.
I think it's still kind of gross, but
It's okay for it to be kind of gross. It is kind of gross, but also, it's a lot more than just kind of gross.
Also, who the fuck?
That's me. Huh?
Who the fuck bungled the ambient background noise track this season? I'd rather hear dogs barking than babies crying any day.
Okay, so I'm sensing a pattern. And maybe
lastly,
I said it.
Can we get an in memoriam for the twins? I feel like we won't be seeing any more of them now that the Garveys moved. Hashtag rest in peace twins. Hashtag bulletproof vest, yo. Hashtag opposite of jackpot. Much love, Brad.
I'm so for it, Brad. Let's do one. Play their clip.
Oh,
the Prius twins. The Prius twins are not getting to Texas. That Prius battery won't make it.
R.I.P. Prius
which
twins.
One is a twin
we
clip?
love you.
Oh, just jackpot.
The vest, the bulletproof vest.
Oh man, which episode was that?
Brett, thoughts?
I don't know.
I think it was
7 and 8.
I think it was probably 7 and 8. I would agree.
Season 1.
Let's see.
Oh, I can actually tell you.
Crazy, dried up fucking turd.
Oh, fuck you, you fucking tobacco state twat.
That's a good one.
Let's see. I'm not finding it.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
It's called Jackpot, Season 1, Episode 8, number 5.
Oh, it's the full-length version of Jackpot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Oh, I don't have it anymore. Oh, well.
Well, we know that they love.
All I have is this.
Jackpot.
Yeah, you know.
Bulletproof vest.
Um,
Great boys. R.I.P. Bye-bye.
All right, well, that's it.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it, you guys. We did it under 2 hours.
Bobby, I told you. It was only an hour this week.
Nice work, Brett.
It was too mind-blowing to talk in much detail about. It was just like
both episodes kind of stacked up in a nice way.
That's true too.
Yeah, and I'm just ready for more. I don't have much to say other than I do remember certain things, so I don't want to talk too deeply about this or that, but I'm ready for this season. There's an episode, people keep talking about how there's some of the best episodes of TV in this season. Well, that's not hyperbole at all. There's certainly some amazing episodes of TV coming up, and I cannot fucking wait.
I will say my brother Brad has been asking where I'm at in Leftovers. Well, let me know season 2.
Oh, well, there you go.
He's like, season 2 is where it gets really good.
Also, I don't want to get anybody too excited yet, but Owen has expressed interest in hopping on for one episode. I don't know if it's
specific episode.
A specific episode, yeah. Damn. So, just stay tuned.
Too late. I'm excited.
I'm sorry,
Too fucking late.
I'm sorry. Don't get too excited though.
Getting a glimpse of Owen the other night.
I know. It'll get you. Just
really filled me up.
It'll get your glow right back.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the show. As always, please subscribe to youtube.com/thevalleycast to see the video version of the podcast, Alana's looking all lovely, and you can see us all
Oh.
looking all lovely on camera.
I like it.
If you watch our video version,
You guys
and
look like twins every time because you got those headbands and the beards.
Listen,
So
Headband of the day. you know?
Quarantine's all about headband chic.
headbands and beards.
You want to tell people where they can find you, Alana?
Yes, you can find me on my Instagram at lovealanachan, LOVEALANACHAN. That's pretty much currently on pause at the moment because of everything in the world and an attempt to place my head back on my body.
That makes sense. And Brett, anything you want to add or pitch or you want to pitch anything?
You want to pinch anything?
Yeah, okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
all right?
let's hear
So
it. I'm ready.
It's a guy. He's a family man. He
Okay.
builds a pool in his backyard. They dig out the pool. They find out, the house on a burial ground. Poltergeist happens. But it's modern. It's a modern take. you know?
Love it. Love it.
And it's in anime. Sold.
And it's animated.
In the vein
by
of Steven
me.
Universe.
I'm in. I'm in. You got me. What's
Okay.
it called?
It's called Simon
Good,
Pool.
Yeah.
Is it
Please
called?
look for it.
Is it called Pools Gold?
It's called The Backyard. It's going to come in between volume 1 and 2 of Creeper.
Oh, great.
So look for it 2025. Definitely coming.
Oh, it's a one shot.
Oh, yeah. It's a feature film that never caught wind, so I'm turning it into a graphic novel.
Wow.
'Cause I believe in it.
It's called Backyard Backwash.
Backyard Barbecue. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to the show. We'll catch you guys next time on the First Time Show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Bobbies.
Bye, Bobby.
Bye, Bobby.
Bye, Bobby.